Good morning. The occupation of the 4th Precinct is unsafe for everyone. It distracts from the large work of racial equity that we must do, and we stand here as a community to say that the occupation must end. At the 4th Precinct, fires are burning in the street. They're burning near flammables, fouling the air for everyone around, including the neighbors in the neighborhood. There are barricades on Plymouth Avenue made of pallets, made of lumber that can't be moved easily when needed, blocking our emergency vehicles, redirecting our emergency vehicles, and blocking our snowplows. There's been gun violence, the deplorable shooting that happened on Monday, but shots fired multiple nights at and near the precinct. There have been false medical calls, creating chaos and dismaying everyone. And outside agitators have come in with intentions of violence. They have thrown Molotov cocktails at our officers and at our precinct. There are near daily threats to burn the precinct, to kill our officers, and to hurt people, causing harm and fear that must end. Everyone, protesters, neighbors, community residents, officers, everyone is at risk at the 4th Precinct. I and others have tried many avenues. The lines of communication have been open, the conversations have been significant, and I am here to say again, I am still open, the door is still open, my ear is still willing to hear, I am still willing to talk with any of the protesters who care to come to the table. Those conversations have not yielded the result that we need, which is the end of the occupation of the 4th Precinct. There are values at stake here. I share them, and we all share them. Values of racial equity, values of racial justice. Before this event happened, before the protests began, we were working with the community already on many of the initiatives that other cities have had to ask for, that other cities have had to start. We are part of the national initiative for building community trust and justice. We are well into the process of having body cameras on all of our officers. In the budget that I have proposed for 2016, there are many ways to address issues of police-community relationships and racial equity in the city of Minneapolis. Municipal criminal justice reform, workforce programs, work with youth, and work with folks who need to get on a new and different path. Even so, there have been additional demands made and additional demands met from the community. Immediately after the shooting, we asked for and got an independent investigation, and within a day responded to the community request for an independent federal investigation, which is underway. We have released the names and the service records of the officers involved. We have gotten culturally appropriate grief counseling for witnesses, for community members, and for the family. Governor Dayton himself has called for an investigation of any civil rights issues that have occurred in the first week of protests, and he has said he will call a special session of the legislature to talk about these issues. Many people have done a great deal to be responsive to the requests and the demands that are on the table. Even so, we know there's more to be done. We know that the work of creating racial equity, of creating the strongest possible police-community relationships is not done, and that there's a great deal of work to do. These community members and I, and so many others from around the neighborhood and the city, are standing together. We are committing ourselves to doing the hard work of systemic change for racial justice and equity. I renew my pledge to work every day to create one Minneapolis, to continue the work that I have done, that the city has done, at the city and in partnership with the community, to make sure that we have the best city possible for every single person in the city. All of that needs our attention and needs our care. And the occupation at the precinct must end so that we can pivot to the work that needs doing citywide, community-wide, and nationwide, so that we can achieve the kind of racial equity that we need as a city and as a people.